All right, I'm here with my favorite Ed O'Toole over at the Barnstable High School Night Auditorium because we're going to talk all things Sound of Music.
Thank you. we're actually in the pack.
In the pack. Oh,
Yes.
what did I
the
say?
The night is our little adjunct.
Oh,
But that's
right.
okay because we're probably
just
down
wherever
there
you are.
Yeah.
Get here to the high school.
Right. That's right. Exactly. You have plenty of seats. No waiting.
Right, and you definitely have to be in the pack because you have an enormous cast. 150. Is that what I read?
Yes, we have about 100 kids in the cast, and we have another 40 plus in the orchestra, which is all Barnstable High School kids, and a couple of faculty members. And so it's enormous. Yeah,
right.
We got a lot.
And now let's talk briefly about the production itself. A couple of new things. It's not only a version of the movie, but of the stage production, so there's a little different music. And then let's talk briefly about what's different about the music here. Well,
we can, thanks to Rodgers and Hammerstein, we can switch out a couple of songs if we want. And traditionally, the song that gets switched out allows us to do the song Something Good with the Captain and Maria. So they love that. People love that song. And something new as far as our production is concerned is that we are aligning really with the music department with Dave Schroeder and Marcia Wittrall. And actually, Andrew Vince and Megan O'Connor, who are music teachers, are going to be in the orchestra as well. And Dave's running the pit orchestra and conducting, and Marcia's been our vocal director. And it's just gone so well. I just love having the whole school arts department involved.
Absolutely.
So it's really been an enormous help.
Sure. So. Well, and there's so much of that natural crossover. I think, yes. I'm surprised it hasn't happened earlier.
Yeah, it can be difficult to arrange. And
sure.
Luckily, Dave Schroeder's all about getting the music department back to where it was 10, 15 years ago before cuts and changes and so forth, and he's dedicated to it. And Marcia has a lot of these students in her music classes, and these are kids in vocal jazz, for instance, who are also in our casts all the time, and kids are in chamber chorus, and they also are in the plays. So it's a natural alliance. You're absolutely right. And it's been such a fruitful, wonderful relationship.
Good.
I couldn't be happier.
I'm glad.
And it will be reflected. You will see a fine show.
We always do. When do we not see a fine show?
Well, you know. Don't ask me that question because I always want it to be a little bit better than the last time. But this is going to be really good.
This is going to be great, and we'll have the opportunity to speak with Chloe, who's not only in the play, but choreographing it.
Oh, huge part of the production is the choreography.
Sure.
And she's worked, we have kids who are about 7 or 8 years old in the Von Trapp family, right up through the high school. And they've been great. So any of the elementary school kids who come will surely see somebody they know up there dancing around and having fun.
Great. That's a big part of it too.
Yes.
And the costumes by Joni and the music with David. So we'll chat a little bit with everybody, catch some of the kids up on stage, and we encourage our viewers to get tickets.
Yep.
Best price in town, $10.
Oh, yeah.
You can't beat that.
Oh, you can't beat that. Don't even come to me and complain. Not that you do.
For information, where can they get information on getting tickets?
508-771-6246, which is our number. You can reserve tickets and then you pick them up when you get here.
Great. Always a pleasure, and we look forward to another spectacular production.
All right. Thank you very much. See you at the show.
I'm with Joe McAllister, who I want to call Joni Mitchell, but do you sing?
I don't. No, that's why I do the costume, because I don't sing.
So I want to talk about the costumes. This is such an exciting production, and let's talk a little bit about you, because you're a Barnstable High School grad yourself, you told me.
I am. I graduated from Barnstable High School in 1988. I was part of the drama club with Mr. Sullivan, and it's great to be back. I have 4 daughters, and 3 of them are in Barnstable schools right now, and 1 has graduated. But I started back doing costumes again, probably 6 or 7 years ago, helping out on the production. So.
And your daughter's involved in the production. I think that's so wonderful that you were involved with the drama club. It was very special for you, and now you're continuing that tradition going forward. Yeah. Tell me about it. Ed O'Toole, of course, says you're absolutely genius with the costumes in these productions. So I'm sure there's lots of challenges. What types of things do you find doing these productions?
Well, it's sort of it depends on how we're going to do the production. Whether with this we've kind of combined the movie version and the stage version. So it's some of the costumes you'll recognize from the movie, whereas other things were definitely more geared toward parts of costumes they didn't have in the movie. So it's always a challenge.
Sure.
What's probably the most challenging with this show is that we have the 7 Von Trapp children. And so they have 5 different costumes.
Wow.
And so for a total of 35 costumes.
Oh my goodness.
Just for the Von Trapp children. So that's been sort of our big challenge, is getting all of those pieces, because they're all so different. You know, you can't really use the uniforms with the curtain dresses. So it's definitely been a challenge, but I have a wonderful team of volunteer moms, former moms of drama club kids. There's probably about 10 of us working in total on the whole production. So it's, you know, everything you see from the beds and the flags and to all the costumes here. So it's.
And that's just it. I saw you showing them. It was funny were they telling them how to make the bed. So it's not just the actual costumes, it's the whole entire set design as well.
It is too, especially for this movie too, where Maria makes the costumes out of the curtain. So that's been a particularly, you know, we have to have the right look of the bedroom
Sure.
to match the costumes that we're using right now. So it's definitely a challenge, but it's one that I really enjoy. I'm having a really great time with this show.
Now we're going to see the kids do the dance. Chloe Bromfield, of course, has helped choreograph that, and they have a special costume for that.
They do, yes. The scene is at the big party that the captain has for Elsa. So he's in a tux, and then we have the Landler dress, which is the dress also that Maria has made for herself. So it's, you know, and we again went with a more traditional look on that. So it's great. It's always, you know, it's always a challenge, because we also have to have a dress that works for them to be able to dance and move around in. So it's always a work in progress.
Sure.
So,
Thank you so much for your time. I look
you.
forward to seeing all the costumes. We know how much work goes into it. So thank you so much. I'm standing here with Chloe Bromfield, and not only are we going to talk about your role on the stage, but certainly behind the scenes. So you have a very special and challenging role this time around in this production.
I do, yeah. Being choreographer of the show it's a lot of pressure.
Sure.
Actually.
More so than being on center stage.
Yeah, more so than being on stage, because you have all these kids to work with. And there's 14 of them, because we double cast each kids. So that's teaching songs like Do Re Mi and Lonely Goat Herd multiple times and making sure they remember every step. It's pretty difficult.
It is. Now, how do you come up with the choreography? Are you basing it on the movie or stage?
Well, I looked at the version that they just did live with Carrie Underwood, and then I've looked at the movie versions, and then sometimes I just look up on YouTube just other school versions, and I just think things out in my head, because I like to take some moves from certain things, but then make things up in my own head and just kind of work with the music. So.
Very good. And now your role on stage, tell me briefly about that.
I play Elsa Schrader. She is the Baroness. She's the captain's fiance when the show opens. And she's kind of the conflict within the first act, because she is trying to like make the captain marry her, but in the meantime he's falling in love with Maria, so you're kind of like rooting for both of them in a weird way.
Now tell me, in this particular production, do you prefer being on stage, or you prefer being the choreographer?
I prefer being on stage, but I love dancing, and I always have, so it's just it's really a blessing to be able to choreograph a show and have people see something that I've worked so hard on.
That's right. Well, great job, Chloe. We'll look forward to seeing your work on the stage and seeing you in the spotlight.
Thank you very
Thanks.
much.